Alright, greeting folks. Welcome back to another Let's Play doing Eurofront 1943. We're now in the summer period of 1943. It's going by pretty fast, but it is happening. And so now this is the high tide of the conflict. Maybe not. Maybe the winter periods could be argued as just as intense, but it seems like the summer period is more going on overall, and you don't really have any operational constraints. Even the winter time, the Red Army has to adapt to the winter fighting. I think this time the Red Army is much better prepared because we've pretty much built up the whole entire Red Army force pool, all but an infantry, 2 tank corps, which are useful, but the rest of the Red Army is here. And the problem, of course, is that the front is very large, so the Red Army is pretty diffused versus the Wehrmacht, which I would argue, at least right now, seems to be the more menacing of the two, and it has a lot of units stacked up here in pretty much the central sector as before, northeastern Ukraine. There's Kursk. That area has been contested back and forth multiple times, and I'm beginning to realize that that's the general theme of this fighting, and that's because the main target again it has been Ukraine itself as far as industrially. It has been the change in hands that has had the greatest impact on the Eastern Front. I think in total it's about 12 to 14 production points according to this game. I just want to confirm that. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, and then including Rostov. That's right. So yeah, about 14 production points this entire region, or 12 if you're playing as the Soviets, and that has had an impact on the game. Other than that, the loss of Leningrad, I mean, it hasn't been too significant, but I think it is beginning to begin to have some sort of a cumulative effect on the Eastern Front. I think because the Wehrmacht were at full strength pretty much, and also the loss of Murmansk as well. I mean, it's been now 24 turns since the start of this playthrough, and if you add up the production points, I think you're looking at about 120. Yeah, you're looking at a lot. I think it's about 120 production points for the whole conflict that have been lost so far, just because of the loss of Murmansk. So maybe it's been that. Maybe that's the main reason why in our playthrough the Red Army's industry has been just not up to par, although frankly it's been at about 60 production points, which is kind of what you would expect. So I don't know. It's hard to say. With that, we'll start the Soviet production. And the main focus, I think, is to have as many HQs available and ready for this period. So, I mean, the Soviets look pretty good. I spent 20 there. I have 41 left. I will say the Red Army is looking in pretty good shape, I gotta say. I'm impressed with what we have here, the Red Army. Let's just build up this mech corps. That's 3. That leaves us now down to 38. 36. What else? I'm not sure what else to actually build up right now. Oh, well, we can build up these 2 armored units. That's going to be 28 now remaining. Okay, and then make that 26 remaining, 23 remaining, 20 remaining altogether for the Red Army so far. So with 20 remaining, we still have a lot more units that we could build up, which is interesting. Very interesting. I didn't expect that. A lot of full strength Red Army units, actually. But I have 20 production points still remaining, if I've done my math right, which I'm pretty sure I have. mean, I can build up these 2 armored units. Let's build up that guy and perhaps another one here. And then build up this infantry. That's now, we're left with 10 more. That's it. And I guess we will probably should finish off this dead pile. That probably may have been the better move. I'm thinking of building an armored unit. Maybe infantry, another armored unit, another infantry. And I'm really trying to actually create some kind of Soviet tank reserve. That's the idea. That we can then use during the summer period offensively. Or I think I see what I have to do. We're trying to actually have these units replace our tank armies. And then the tank armies will be the strategic reserve for the Red Army, yes. And then we'll use it like a giant fist and smash any single sector with the Red Army. That's the idea that I think I'm going to do. Okay, so that's that with the Soviets. Mediterranean front. We can switch over, do the dice rolls there. Still the same. Oh, I just realized there are some production upgrades to do during the summer period. Before I forget, I don't think the Soviets gain anything. No, they didn't change. But the Allies will gain 10 more. So we're right on time with that. They're going to gain another 10 more. And the question is, do we focus on the Mediterranean front? I would argue probably. Why not? So I think I'm just going to increase both by 5. So I'm going to bring up the Mediterranean front now to 40. And then the Western front will go up to 33 now. Okay, so that's a nice little boost for the Western Allied powers. The Axis also gain another 5, which I'm pretty sure we're going to throw at the Western front. Right now we're at 36, it looks like. And we're going to bring that up to 41 now. Nice. Mediterranean front is down to 20, which seems reasonable. All right, so we get to roll 8 dice this time for the Western Allied powers. Got a lot of good rolls, and looks like it's 15 at the top, plus another 25, or another 10 for 25. We're looking at 33. I think in total 33 points I counted there for the Mediterranean front, plus we could transfer over another 16 if we wanted to, for a full potential of 49, if I count that right. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now the Western front production is, what is this, 40, or excuse me, yeah, the Western front production is at 33. So we could send over 16. That's what I'm trying to say. So full potential 49 production for the Mediterranean front, which is a lot to work with. It is a lot. That's good to see. So let's build up our HQs. I think that's priority number 1 for the Allies here. Build up the HQs. If we're going to go for the full 49. So that's already spent 25. That leaves us with 24. And the remaining 24, let's build up this infantry. Or perhaps even both infantry. We'll just build up 1. That's 6. And how much do we have left? We have 24 left. And I just spent 6, so that leaves me with 18. I can build up this guy. That's another 9. And then let's build up this French unit. It's another 8. So we used 48 production points so far. Yeah, All right, so that was pretty good. I was impressed, but it clearly is not enough to gain a complete and total advantage. But I can now say that we're somewhat confident in advancing. We can advance with, even though our units won't be at full strength, we can advance our units, start making a move to the south, which is what I want to see. And we can pretty much concentrate all our units right there, which would be a nice spot. And then break out, pretty much. So, now with the remaining, what would it be? With the remaining 18 production points that I have, we can then spend stuff on the Western Front. So 18, not a whole lot, just enough. Build up this tank. And then that was 8. That leaves me with 10 left. And nothing. Oh, well, the 10 that we should build, pretty obvious. Build up this unit here. Unless I want to build up these other ground units. Which I could do. Or just leave this unit at full strength. And we could make, yeah, I'm not going to say too much. I'll keep it top secret. But I do have a plan of action that I'm considering doing. And it could work. It could work. It could not work. I really wish we had this tank corps. So I'm going to try to get this tank corps moving to the south as soon as possible. It's going to take 2 more turns. So for now, I think we're good with what we've got. And hopefully it's enough to defeat the allies, or not the allies, the Axis over here once and for all. That's what I really would like to see. Some sort of victory. So anyways, that's that. We'll switch over now to the Axis production. And then go ahead and get this turn on the move. Get on the move! So let's see. Western Front production, or Eastern Front, Western Front. This one is going to be 41 for the Axis, which is a lot. I can also transfer over some to the... Wait, was it really? Dang, we gained a lot. I could transfer some over to the Eastern Front. I don't know if I really want to. Seems like they are fine. These units. I have a surplus of production, I think, on the Eastern Front right now, so don't really see the point of sending more. Yeah, I think they got plenty to work with. So that's that. On the Eastern Front, or Western Front rather, also I got to point out that this turn we're gaining so many reinforcements over these last 2 turns. So many reinforcements. I completely underestimated the German recruitment right now. It's huge. It's huge. I mean, we had a huge shortage of manpower. 41 and even 42. I mean, where was this manpower at the start of Operation Barbarossa? That's my question. Like, why didn't we have these units at the start of Barbarossa? We probably could have actually done more if we had more units. I'm pretty sure during the opening sequences, maybe not. Maybe the logistics was already too much. Maybe it was a logistical problem and wasn't a firepower problem. Although I'm pretty sure it was also a firepower problem as well. But like, where were these units at the start of Operation Barbarossa? I don't know. But anyways, we got a lot of these so-called militia units, and they are just like cannon fodder. They really are. I can pretty much double stack them all over this area. And it would certainly make the defense a lot stronger, but I don't think it's going to be like a game changer. I think these units are probably better off used occupying areas where we expect the enemy to break through. And the most obvious area is Yugoslavia, which I know can be defended. I guess I will defend it with nothing but militia. I don't see what else to do. But it's not like they're very strong units. They're not. I really don't know what to do with them. I kind of want to leave them in Germany, frankly. You know, they would be better. They would be better used in, I don't know, maybe as part of a secondary strategic line. I don't know. And the fact that they're so, I can place them anywhere in Germany too, kind of seems nice. I kind of like that idea. You know, I guess I'll put one in and just sprinkle them around like salt and pepper. I'm going to put them one in every single victory city in the Western Front. I think that seems reasonable. And like we could put one more. I guess I'll put infantry in Bulgaria. I could also put more. I can send units all the way down here in Athens. Holy smokes. Let's do that. Leave this guy in Athens. Because that seems a little better. Seems more better. I'll put an infantry right over here. Since, yeah, let's keep the infantry near the HQs. Since they are the ones that can actually move the units. So that's pretty good. Anywhere else that I would want to put units down? I couldn't tell you. Then we got these infantry. And, I mean, I'm really looking... I think Italian defense is looking really nice. We've got an infantry corps there in Naples. Italian infantry supporting the Panzer Corps in Sicily. So the Sicilian Peninsula, I would argue, is good enough to protect the island, I think. Maybe we should have this HQ in Messina. Have these units spread out a bit more. Maybe I should pull these two units back to Messina. I'm keeping them on the coastline for now, but maybe Messina is not as well protected as I think. So we got all that. This is a static defense. Rome is a static defense, but there's a Panzer Corps there. It just needs an HQ. Then I got another full strength HQ here. This Panzer Corps probably should be up there, frankly. And we can move it as a mobile reserve. And then we've got southern French coast protected. I'm actually going to put another infantry right there. Nice little infantry cluster. So then the idea being that strategically I can move these units via rail to Italy or maybe southern France, somewhere else. That's the idea. So yeah, put another infantry there, definitely. I got 2 more infantry. So we got 3 infantry here in central France, plus some mech corps in support, and another unit there. Plenty of infantry. I'm pretty sure the infantry are good enough, although the Allies do have triple fire air power now. Oof. That is not to be underestimated. In fact, our infantry are probably really vulnerable to that. The only solution would be to put more infantry, so to absorb more hits. Basically, that's the only thing I could do to counter. It's just strengthen up my infantry here. Ugh. So yeah, what to do? I think I already deployed the infantry, didn't I? No, I got 2 more units to deploy, and I'm not sure where. I could put another one in Greece. That actually seems pretty reasonable. Or at least leave these 2 guys here. Try to start setting up a static defense. Maybe we could use more militia units here in Yugoslavia. They're probably better off over there rather than all the way up here. Like, I don't need one in Hamburg. I'll cancel that one. And yeah, we're going to send these 3. I think I'm going to put him... I want to start protecting just all the naval ports, right? Or I could even put him across Italy. Fortify Italy. There's a lot of strategic options. But I'm thinking... definitely protect the ports. At the very least. Protect the ports. It's going to slow down the Allies. It's not going to guarantee a stop, but it's going to slow them down. And I think what better units to deploy than these militia units into the ports. That makes good sense. And I got 3 more ports here that I want to protect. I'm pretty sure I can use these Africa Corps to protect that area. That's the idea. If we can withdraw, they're going to have to fall back to somewhere. And this port here, I mean, I think Messina, Taranto, and whichever port that is, those are going to be like our likely 3 ports to withdraw to. So maybe then put 1 unit in Termoli and another in Mari, something like that. I don't trust the Italians. You know, I know they will surrender, so that's why I'm thinking it's better to have militia units just standing by. Also, northern Italy could use more defense. I know that Ravenna needs to be well protected. You know, so I have 3 ports here that I could occupy, and I think these militia units are going to be the ones. So let's just put them here like that. Yeah, and move these units via rail to occupy those 3 ports for sure. And then northern Italy, I mean, we'll work with what we got. I still have 1 more infantry, though, to deploy. And I couldn't tell you where I would want to put it. I have no idea. But put it somewhere good. Maybe Greece, although I think it's a bit excessive. Maybe in Paris. Try to deal with the manpower issue over here. Maybe I'm underestimating how well Amsterdam or Holland is protected. I mean, this area has double defense, but this area is open terrain, and it's only 3 hexes from London. So I think it's in my best interest to put a fortress there at some point, but I don't think I have any more. I do not. So yeah, that's a little awkward. Maybe we got to put another one up there, another infantry there. I mean, they have a very good chance of landing. I don't know. Infantry seem to be the most reliable units to protect an area like that, I would think. You know, what's crazy is that now I have no more militia for the rest of the conflict. That's a oof. That's a big oof. So, very interesting. Very interesting. I'm tempted to put this unit in up here. Also, I gotta like fortify these other areas. You know, I gotta establish a better system of defense. I think I'm right now underestimating Allied firepower, and I don't want to. I want to make sure that we actually have a strong defense in this area. But in order to ensure that, I need make sure all these areas, pretty much all the ground units need to be built up. That's for sure. I need these units at full strength. Completely. I mean, I could put another infantry unit over here. I'm also thinking about moving this. I think actually it's probably best if I move this fortress unit all the way up there if I can. If it's in range, I hope it's in range. I'm trying to count right now. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it is just enough. Just enough. I'm thinking about doing that. Yeah. Establish like I kind of want Holland Oler fortified, or I mean, what I have right now is suggestive that we let the Allies land there, and then we fight. No, I'd rather just keep it super fortified, and then I want to have as much mobility as I can in France, so that I can withdraw. Yes. So there's an incentive then to maybe put another infantry in this area. Could work. Definitely could work. We already have a Panzer Corps, right? This Panzer Corps is super useful. We also have this Mech Corps. I just don't even know where I would want to put the other infantry. I'm not even sure where I would want to put them. But I'm definitely putting a lot of thought into it, aren't I? So, I mean, I like my setup right now. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't seem like there's a real need to deploy this infantry unless I want to deploy to the Eastern Front. You know, I was sort of complaining about the manpower shortage on the Eastern Front. That could remedy it a little bit. Maybe we do that. Maybe we just deploy it to the Eastern Front. That would be such an odd move, wouldn't it? That'd be a super odd move. But it would be a cool move. But probably not enough to change the outcome of the conflict. It would have been best if we deployed all these units, actually. You know, and I still have more ground units to deploy. It's not over yet. In fact, we just received this new SS, another SS unit, this time a mech unit, during this turn. And we got more Panzer Corps. So a lot of options there. I mean, this mech unit, maybe we should also keep it in France. Or is that a bit too much? No. I think maybe a regular Panzer Corps will be enough. I'm thinking. Kind of want to send this SS Panzer Corps now to the Eastern Front, where it belongs. Right? Presuming we can launch a good summer offensive. I don't know what the situation is. I probably should have done the Eastern Front production first. So, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and shift over. We haven't even started the production on the Western Front, so, which is also another interesting thing to point out. I've just been deploying the ground units. So big turn for German, probably the biggest production turn in the game for the German army, the Wehrmacht, right now. So I think now, let's see, 82 production points. I'm going to go ahead and build up the HQs. Pretty obvious what to do there. That's 1, 2, 3. Oh, where's my OKH? Here it is, 4. 2 more. So we're at 50 now. And then build up this cavalry, which was, it is 6, just like the mech. So that's 56 from 30, or at 32 rather. Now I'm at 26, right? I'm at 26. I think I'm at 26. Right? I have 26 left. Definitely build up this fortress. That brings me down to 16. Mech, that's another 6. I have 10 left still. Probably build up these finish units. Not much else to build up. Oh, I could also build up these ground units. Let me do that. I have 10 left. Build up this infantry. Oh, we should also build this Panzer Corps. So I actually have 2 extra right now. I've overspent. Now I've overspent it on the Eastern Fronts. If I cancel this Mannerheim build, that leaves me with 3 now left over. And if I cancel this Deedle build, I think that actually leaves me now with another 8 in total. And there's nothing to build besides the infantry. So I have 8 left. And no units that are obvious that I can build up. Oh, I actually have this mech. No, I already did. Dang it. I could cancel that build, of course. Now that puts me at 14. And then if I can build these 2 up, that's 10. And then this here. Yeah, build up this infantry. Finish unit. Boom. Done with that. Alright. Western Front production is at 41. Let's go ahead and build up some of these HQs. Build up that. I'm going to also build up, I think we're going to build up these 2 fortresses. It's already, I have 11 left. Actually, let's cancel these builds. Instead, I'm going to focus on the panzers. That's 16, that was 26 that I've spent. 30. Now I'm left with 11. Build up this Panzer Corps. And then that leaves me with 3 now. Build up one of those. All right, nice. Now that's pretty interesting production. Mediterranean front production we also can do. Pretty sure we're saving right now. Yeah, we have looks like 13 from the 17 from the last turn. 4 more dice rolls. I'm thinking, let's just try to fight one more battle and then pull out. I don't think these units should stick around for too much longer, especially given how logistically it's complicated. Of course, the Italians are going to be demoralized, but I think we should be able to protect every port. And as long as every port is protected, I don't think we have to worry about a Allied success. As long as we protect every port. So that's the key to a successful defense of Italy, is protect all the ports. If they even take just one port, there is that lucky roll that may cause them to surrender. I really hope it doesn't happen, but it could happen. But we would have to fight for every port. Losing even one port, I think even losing a port in Sardinia could be a inconvenience. So that's something to be aware of. Can't lose a single port if we're trying to prevent Italian morale from demoralizing, or it will happen, but prevent Italy from surrendering. The easiest thing to do would be to protect Libya a little while longer. So maybe we sacrifice this Africa Corps in the deserts of North Africa. Could be one option. Or we pull them out. If we pull them out, I mean, we do get a sizable group. We get 2 Panzer Corps. But all the Italian units are going to be wasted, basically. Maybe the Italians set up their final defense, but allow the Africa Corps to pull out. And if we do that, I mean, the next stage will be set for a battle in Italy. And I think feel pretty confident that we could defend all of Italy, right? Maybe not. I think at that point, if we lose Libya, I don't think there's any real point of even defending Italy. The main priority will be to defend the industrial regions of Italy, which include, Naples, Rome. I mean, Rome is, these areas are valuable, but I think in that case, it just makes sense to strategically fall back to northern Italy altogether. Fortify northern Italy, fortify southern France, and fortify Yugoslavia, and pretty much abandon all these other areas. It'll buy time, and we can set up a strong defense. So it is a timing thing overall, but I think if we're going to withdraw, might as well withdraw the full 9 yards. We could try to defend a few areas here and there, but I'm pretty sure the Allies are going to flank us. So anyways, that's what I'm thinking. I think we're done with this turn, right, as far as production. So let's start the movement on this turn. And let's see how this goes. I guess we'll start with the Eastern Front, since we're playing as the Axis as it is. And we had a failed attack on Sevastopol. So I'm thinking, well, the main operation I want to do is I'm going to activate OKH. I'm going to activate it in Leningrad. Leningrad is a flex point, so it can command movements on the northern front just as efficiently as it would on the eastern front. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a double move here. Well, actually not. This move can be one single move. We'll put it in Narvik. Then this unit... Oh, you know what? Scratch that. I think this unit will do a double move to Narvik. That's one move. Here's another strategic move that I can do. Oh, you know what? I don't even have to do that. I can do a double march over here. Nice. So that's one move. Or that's 2 strategic moves. Here's another 2. I'm thinking maybe, yeah, that seems okay. So I only have 2 strategic moves left with this HQ. And what I want to do is I'm going to move a Finnish unit. We'll put it over there. Boom. And then we're going to activate the Mannerheim HQ and have it do a double march and move this unit to Petsamo. Just like that. And yeah, I'm not sure how that works if the how does the combat support work with that? But that'd be good to find out. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of, I guess, the activation of these units, right? No, we're looking at a double march, which is a special move type. Area combat, disengagement, marches. Here we go. Any unit can double march along a route And it's 2 supreme moves per double march. Oh, so you know what? I think it actually takes a while for this unit to get there. But I'm pretty sure we had combat support to begin with at the start of this turn. So I'm going to do another attack there. And then, yeah, that's it for OKH. Pretty much moved a few units in and out. But now we can start moving these mounting units. We can start actually moving them to the southern front. It might have to take another turn for that to happen, but I am willing to do it. Then we'll move this guy by rail. Not sure where I want to put it. Probably in the central front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, cancel that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10 right there. Nice. All right, so that's another move. I think there's an incentive to attack Sevastopol. Maybe an incentive to attack elsewhere as well. And just try to attack while we can, because I don't have anything else to really do. So we are going to make an attack against the Soviets over here. Maybe try a river assault. It's an okay move. I can move up these infantry though. I don't know if that's a good idea, but this actually seems like a terrible idea, really. But I need to use these production for something, right? I gotta spend my production on something, anything at this point. I think the best thing to do is actually engage the Red Army, see if we can win some battles, maybe even do a blitz. Try to push here in the center. Yeah, what to do? Or maybe try a river assault. Go for Voronezh. I don't know our chances of success. They actually seem quite low, if you ask me. I'm seeing that our HQs are not concentrated right now. We need to have our HQs concentrated for any of this stuff to work. And I need more ground units. I'm going to need more ground units in this sector if I want to push against the Red Army. I'm waiting on this attack on Sevastopol. So you know what? I'm going to activate this HQ. Put this unit there. And I guess I'm going to move this unit over here. Pull this unit back. I mean, obviously this area is pretty vulnerable to a Soviet offensive, and they could break through. They might be able to. It's hard to say. It's hard to tell. But at least this infantry is pulled back. And then I think I'm gonna deactivate this, and then move it to my COP. No, we'll probably leave it there, frankly. And then I want to make this attack on Sevastopol. Definitely. I think I'm also going to activate Army Group Center and just start getting some units to move to the south. Pretty much try to attack Stalingrad. Maybe we should make that push on Stalingrad. I'm thinking we gotta either go for Stalingrad or go for Baku in 1943. In fact, we can maybe even go for Astrakhan, cut off Soviet, yeah, like pretty much cut off Soviet, rail movement. But we're gonna have the prerequisite to that is to take Stalingrad. I think we're gonna have to pin down Guryev as well for that to work. It's tough. It's really tough to cut off the Soviet production, but it is possible. Not impossible. If there's a section in this game that talks about the strategic objectives, good strategic objectives, good targets to go for. Here it is. Strategic objectives. Probably the coolest section in the game, right? And it talks about Soviet oil. I guess the Soviets lose Baku or rail sea supply to it, their HQs go up. So that's basically it. Now the rail supply to Baku is going from Baku itself right now. And it has to go all the way to Moscow, I'm pretty sure. So right now it's going through Astrakhan. If we take Astrakhan, it's actually a naval base. Northern Caspian Sea becomes Axis controlled, meaning that the sea supplies going across this will be disrupted. Not to mention that this rail line is also disrupted. So the only route available is via the southern Caspian Sea to Krasnovodsk, and then from there it is moving via rail all the way up north, eventually to Moscow. So the Wehrmacht would have to push to this area here, as well as Astrakhan. And if they take one of those two, they will have officially cut off the Baku from the Soviet Union, and it's going to add to their costs. But right now, it is very far away. The prerequisite to that is Voronezh and Stalingrad. Two areas that are industrially not all that important, right? Compared to, say Rome and Naples, the same price. Except trying to take these is probably going to be way harder given the size of the Red Army. So, point I'm trying to make, I guess, is that the incentive for a German offensive is there, but it doesn't seem like it's high enough. Pretty uneventful Eastern Front, I get. I mean, I've had fun with it, but compared to the historical, right? I mean, I don't even think the Wehrmacht really has enough HQs to launch an offensive. They have a very powerful army. I think we can attempt to launch an offensive against the Soviets, but I just don't think the Soviets have the ability to counterblow, and they can attack us when we're weakest. That's my concern. And then, of course, taking Stalingrad, it's a whole challenge in and of itself, and there's just no obvious, flanking maneuvers. There's nothing. The distances are so vast, the territory is so wide. I mean, it is a lot less dense than it was in 1941. Because, unless all of these units, unless our ground forces here had double the infantry, I would say then yes, maybe. But right now, I don't think it's worth it. So much German production on the Eastern Front. And what is it being spent on? The only unit that we've really been using this whole time has been OKH. And it's like we could use another OKH on the Eastern Front. This is actually the power of OKW. And that's what we could use right now is those Supreme HQs. Because we're just trying to transfer reinforcements to the front lines. That's the main goal. That's what we've been doing a lot. It's just moving units to the front line. And it's taken a while for them to get there. And they finally have arrived. And still, the Soviets have their own manpower advantages, right? So the Red Army is looking stronger and stronger by the month, I would say. I'm not feeling very confident in the German army to attack. But what else? I mean, we are gonna attack though Sevastopol. I'm just making sure I have enough money right now to spend it on more units, because I don't know what else to build. It's like I've maxed out my builds. So just keep building up the Finnish army. There's not much else to build up, pretty much. Even the Romanians are at full strength. So may just leave it to the Western Front. But I think I've spent everything I wanted to on this turn. I was going to activate this army group north, but no, there's no need. I'm going to pass. Unless we want to attack somewhere, and right now the Soviets have a nice little snug-in line across the Don River here. We're going to have to do these river assaults, and it's just not worth it. So that's probably something to take note of when we make an attack on Stalingrad. I think it seems clear to me that the best place to attack Stalingrad is from the south, right? But we're going to need this rail line fully protected. So we're going to need units over here protecting the flank. And likewise, I want to breach this flank. I want to actually attack Grozny. I think it would be a good move. I think it would be a very good move if we attack Grozny. So you know what? I might cancel this move. Yeah, I mean, there's just not much. I will leave that HQ activated. No, we're gonna leave it there. Never mind. So that's that with the German turn. Pretty uneventful. Unless I want to move more units to the south, which I could do. I'm thinking I'm gonna save that for the next turn. But then, yeah, as far as the Western Front, you know, I am going to activate OKW. We're going to do a few strategic moves. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, hold on. Before I start the Western Front, I just realized, oops, I have to actually switch sides. And now do the ally turn. And they're actually going to do the... hopefully the audio has been fine. I know I've been talking away from the mic, but it should be fine from over here. But basically, we're not going to switch over to the Soviet turn and then the Western Allied turn, since they have the initiative on the Western Front. Axis don't make many moves. I don't think there's a real need to do much for the Soviets. We can just save another turn for production, which is good for the Red Army, because they're actually building up real fast. Oh, we forgot to do a battle up here. Let's do that. You know, not the British. Finnish. They roll air power, nothing. Defense, nothing. Attack, nothing. Okay. Not much there. Yeah, there's not much for the Red Army to do. I mean, I guess I'll go ahead and activate Stavka anyways. And we'll just move some mech units to the front line. You know, try to establish somewhat of a better defense, I think. But we're looking pretty tough. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we'll move this guy over here to 6. All right, that's it for the Soviets. Now we'll move on to the Western Allied powers. Nope, they're still the same side here. And what are they going to do? I'm going to activate this HQ. And we're going to move. This unit can move by 3. This unit will also move by 3. 1, 2. I guess we'll do that. And then, actually, it can stay put. Then I'm going to move this unit via 2 right there. No, I can actually move it. Yeah, I can move it via rail? No. it has to move a speed of 2. We can do that. So that's 4 strategic moves, which is pretty good. We basically are set up to now attack the Axis on the next turn. And then move this guy back to Gibraltar. And then over here, I don't really have too much to focus on. I think go ahead and activate this British unit. This guy's gonna move. Oh, I see. No, we're good for now. All right, so that is that for the British, the Allies. We are on the move towards Tripoli, pretty much. Switch over to the Axis now. And now that that's a considerably aggressive move, we could deploy the Africa Corps to Tripoli right now. Question is do I want to do that? Or do we just not defend Tripoli, defend it with what we have, and wait for the Allies to advance to Benghazi, where we will have a slightly easier time defending it, I think. So it's kind of you can call it either way. But if we want to reinforce Tripoli, now is the time. There's no other time to wait. We're gonna have to go toe to toe with what the Allies throw at us, including their air power. I mean, I'm sure historically they would have defended, but I'm pretty sure we're going to withdraw. Now, this Italian unit is, I guess, restricted to the Mediterranean front. It's strange like that. But I guess I'm going to activate it. And what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to move this Italian unit to El Agela. Maybe try to set up another defense over here. I don't know. Or maybe I can reinforce Tripoli right now. I could send the Africa Corps straight on over. If I do that, will it be enough to stop the Allied push? It might be. It might not be. It's hard to say. Depends on how much firepower the Allies have. So I kind of wish this HQ was in Tripoli or in Benghazi, then I could have moved in one swift action. But no, instead, I gotta move this guy. I would have to use this HQ up here to do that. And then I could have it there by next turn. Yeah, so not really prepared. I mean, I'm going to activate OKW and I could do 3 supreme moves over here. 1, 2, 3. course, then the British are going to push onto over here, onto Benghazi. I think Benghazi is the better port to hold on to, quite frankly. I'm pretty sure it is the better port to protect. So I think what I'm going to do is just do this. See, the Allied supply lines on their approaches to Tripoli are pretty vulnerable. All I would have needed to do is leave a Panzer Corps way down here and it would have been very feasible. Interesting. Now we know. I mean, that was not obvious. I'm gonna move this guy over here. Then we're just gonna abandon Tripoli. Alright, so that's that. Next turn. Oh, I still want to do a few more moves over here. Let's move these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. That's 3 supreme moves. And then I got 3 more. Oh, we're gonna switch these two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that was 5. I got 1 more left. Pull this guy out, put him here. Boom. Pretty good. Or actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll do that. And then, any other moves? I think we're good. So maybe what I should have done is deploy a lot of these infantry onto the Eastern Front and try to resolve the manpower issue that I've been complaining about. But, oh well, now we know. Eastern Front, we can now move over to the next fortnight. And I think we're going to, there's really not much for me to do. I could have launched an attack on Sevastopol, but kind of want to wait a bit longer. As far as HQs, I only have 3 to build up. I have 15 production points left over, and I don't know what to build. I mean, I'll have like 40 left over. That's too much. Too much to not put to good use. To good use. We got to put them to good use some way, somehow. I just don't know where to attack. I mean, I don't see any really genuinely viable targets right now. Maybe I'm just gonna have to cancel production on the Eastern Front. Start reducing it if we don't see any action. That's gonna be I know it's gonna be a problem eventually for the German army. Or maybe I just made the blunder of this manpower. Maybe I gotta move all this manpower to the Eastern Front. Maybe I still have. I could have deployed these units. That would have been nice, wouldn't it? That would have been really nice, actually. Dang it. I think I kind of got ahead of myself there. I could do the exception. Just throw it in there just so that we just don't have this like ridiculous shortage of production. But it would probably be technically unfair. So I think I'm just going to leave it as it is. But I had so many German units I didn't even know what to do with them all. Holy moly. I can also save production on the Eastern Front. Jeez. Um, Man, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and deploy these guys. Part of their production. We're gonna put them on the Eastern Front. There we go. Just something for them to spend money on, because it's clear we don't really have much else to spend on. It's ridiculous. And I think I meant to attack Sevastopol, but I decided not to for some reason. So we there's nowhere that I really want to attack, unless I want to try to make an attack over here. But I think we need more. The only place I would really want to attack is here in the south, but I need more manpower. I do not want to attack in the center. I'm not interested. Not interested in attacking over here towards Moscow. I would argue that the northern front's taken care of. The only other place I would want to attack is like Voronezh, Stalingrad, and I don't think we only have one HQ that's ready, another that's busy in Sevastopol, and then the third one's busy down here. And that's it. We don't have any more field HQs. You know, we need like at least 2 HQs to attack Stalingrad. 2 army groups are gonna have to work together to attack Stalingrad. And that could be Army Group South and Army Group North, apparently. But we're busy. We have to first deal with Crimea before we can do that. So that's what we're going to do. Then once we can take it, then we can transfer over and then attempt a push on Stalingrad, kind of leave this little fortress we have here. And that's the only target to really go for against the Red Army. There's not much else. So yeah, we're going to pass on that. Soviets, I'm pretty sure, are going to pass as well. Because I don't think... Yeah, I don't think... there's really no offensive action I see the Red Army doing right now. They're just playing the long game of building up. We're going to pretty much maximize the builds of both sides and see how it goes. For the Western Front, though, looks like this Axis have abandoned Tripoli, and we will go ahead and attack. I'm going to send these 2 units forward, and this unit is going to move right there. And then that's it. Put an airstrike marker here. First battle here with triple fire. Let's see how it goes against whatever unit's defending. Yeah, the air power just clean sweeps the Italians. Boom. And that's it. So we did make progress on Tripoli finally, and now we're closing in on Benghazi, and the Allies definitely have a numerical advantage. It's starting to show. A lot of units on both sides for sure. On the flanks there, we can finally switch over to the Axis on the Western Front. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, to level 2, we're going to pass. So this game, a lot of passing here, and that's just because I really do think that there's not enough Supreme HQs in this game. If we had more Supreme HQs, it would have been just fine. You would have been moving units around like crazy, right? But no, instead we just have these freaking ground units that aren't good enough. So this is the good time to decide, do I want to reinforce... So I want to reinforce Tripoli with the Panzer Corps. I could send it over, but it would be a static defense. I would not be able to do much else. It would be a static defense because I have no HQ in the vicinity. So I'm pretty sure Tripoli is about to fall. The Allies are in a really good position to take it on the next turn unless we reinforce. And even then, I mean, I probably could reinforce. It would make for a really cool battle, right? Especially if the Allies decide to blitz on Tripoli. Or maybe what they'll do is they'll probably cut off the city, put us out of supplies, and then eventually, wear us down. At that point, I'd rather have my unit fall back to the mainland. I think it's clear to me that the only units that are going to really set up a final defense are going to be the Italians. I think I've just realized that to be the case. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually move this unit over here. And then this Italian units will put over there, I guess. But I think it's time to abandon this whole area. And I don't want these Africa Corps units to fight. This is not the best place to fight. Unless we can catch the Allies slightly with an ambush. Other than that, I'm ready to abandon Libya, and then we're gonna fall back to the Italian boot, pretty much. And then I'm pretty sure even after that, I'm still gonna keep falling back. The goal is to strategically move all these HQs, and we're gonna move them to central northern Italy, pretty much. Fortify, everywhere, including Rome. This whole area here. I realized there was one strategic move I forgot, which was Nice. But oh well. And then fortify northern Italy, and then France will be fortified, and then we should be pretty well snug in for 1944. And then on the Eastern Front, same thing. And we'll see how it goes. I think the tide has turned against the Axis, is turning strategically, but 1944, 1945, there will eventually be a moment in this game later in the war where neither side is going to budge, right? Production will be maximized. Neither side will budge when we will have a battle eventually. So that's that. I'm going to wrap it up here then. That's the turn. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see y'all in another video. And hopefully one day I can show you all a video like this, but we can actually have some data to look at. Wouldn't that be fun? Anyways, I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.